Two titans of the 90s, Marvel Comics and Capcom collaborated time and time again to bring the world of Marvel's heroes to arcades. Finding success, the two even faced off multiple times in their own competitive fighting game series. These are the best Marvel vs. Capcom games, ranked. Fusing Marvel's Ultron and Sigma of the Mega Man X franchise, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite saw the heroes of both universes clash and collaborate to save everything. Looking to take the series in a new direction, this title has a lot of problems, reducing the gameplay from 3v3 to 2v2 and adding in an MCU-inspired Infinity Stone mechanic made for a messy experience. Pair all that with spotty visuals, a smaller roster, and you have a game that many believed killed the series for good. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter sees the cast of Capcom's iconic fighting game series duke it out with a roster comprised mostly of Marvel's Avengers. Featuring a partner tag system and enhanced gameplay from previous collaborations, it boils down to being more Marvel vs. Capcom. After nearly a decade since Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds, brought the 3v3 gameplay of the fan-favorite fighting game into a new generation with online play and 3D cel-shaded character models. While it was made redundant by a future release, this version marked the return of the series in a huge way. Released on the PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2012, Marvel vs. Capcom Origins collects the original Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel superheroes, emulating them with HD support, graphical options, and online play. While it was technically fine, fans were underwhelmed by the lack of other iconic titles from series history. This would ultimately be delisted in 2014. The genesis of this iconic collaboration, X-Men Children of the Atom, is an arcade title that sees players select one of 6 X-Men characters and 4 villains, including Akuma in his second appearance, to play through an adaptation of the Genosha storyline. A fairly straightforward one-on-one fighter, it's a piece of history both for Capcom and the fighting game scene overall. Releasing in the mid-90s to adapt the Infinity Gauntlet event comic, Marvel Superheroes is similar to X-Men Children of the Atom, except this title leans more on the wider world of Marvel's heroes. Featuring a more vibrant art style and better soundtrack, with a great roster from Spider-Man to Shuma-Gorath, plus a final showdown against Thanos, Marvel Superheroes exists as a great time capsule of Marvel in the mid-90s. The first Marvel and Capcom crossover, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, sees Wolverine, Gambit, and Rogue joined up with Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li to stop the Age of Apocalypse. The Street Fighter crew was scoped to match their X-Men partners' power levels, with Ryu now being able to do a Kamehameha-esque Hadouken. Also introducing the assist mechanic, the gameplay is fast, even if it's a bit broken. The first Marvel vs. Capcom title is actually the third collaboration overall. Opening things up to the wider roster of Capcom's heroes, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes sees the likes of Mega Man and Morrigan join Ryu and Chun-Li to represent the gaming giant. While the gameplay isn't quite there yet with this title, it is an important milestone for the series. The definitive version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, features tweaked gameplay, balancing improvements, and 12 new characters. Adding in characters from Ace Attorney, Dead Rising, and the Guardians of the Galaxy before they became household names, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is still widely played to this day. By far, the best game in the series to this day is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. Introducing the series' iconic 3v3 combat, a gigantic 53-character roster, and a soundtrack that feels out of place but is beloved, this title combines and refines everything that worked about the previous Marvel and Capcom collaborations. And those are the best Marvel vs. Capcom games. The series is still beloved by fans and is getting new life injected into it thanks to the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection arcade classics. Be sure to let us know if you're picking it up, and stay tuned to Game Rant for more.